were no sounds of explosions, no big announcements, no official sentences in bold on the screen. But on that day, the world seemed to stop moving. Jungkook's decision came about not as a statement, but rather as a feeling that slowly crept in among fans, staff, and those who had long noticed every little detail about him. Something's changed, something that isn't said, but is clearly felt. The silence was not empty, but full of meaning. For many years, Jungkook was known as a figure who always stepped forward without hesitation. He grew up before the eyes of the world, from a teenager with sparkling eyes to a global artist who shouldered the expectations of millions. His smile was consistent, his energy seemed boundless, and his dedication seemed to never waver. But behind all that, there's an invisible burden, the burden of always being strong, the burden of always being there, a burden to never stop. The closest people begin to notice small changes, a noticeably quieter schedule, a deeper look than usual. Jungkook did not disappear, but his presence felt different, calmer, more cautious, as if every step was now thought out twice. There's no overt explanation, but that's exactly what makes it all feel so real. This decision was not made for the world, but for himself. As word of his decision spread, the reaction came in waves. Many were surprised, many felt lost, but many more suddenly understood. It's not about giving up. It's about surviving in a different way. Jungkook chose silence, not because he had no words, but because words were no longer enough to describe what he felt. In that silence, he was saving himself. In the midst of the silence, Taehyung's confession appears like an echo that breaks the vacuum. Not as a sensation, not as a drama, but rather as an honesty that finally finds the right time. He spoke in a calm, yet emotional tone, about buried concerns, about the long nights after the schedule ends, about seeing someone he cared so much about continue to smile, even though his fatigue deepened. What makes many people speechless is not the content of the confession alone, but the courage behind it. Taehyung doesn't try to look strong. He didn't hide his fear. He admitted that there were times when he wished he could have done more, spoken up earlier, or simply made sure Jungkook wasn't shouldering all alone. It is not an admission of weakness, but a genuine proof of love. Armies around the world felt the impact almost simultaneously. Social media is filled not with anger, but empathy. Many write long messages, not to demand, but to let go. There are tears, there is guilt, and there is a new understanding that grows slowly. For the first time, many fans realize that supporting idols does not mean demanding that they always be present, but rather making room when they need a breath. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere among the members is described as quiet yet warm. No pressure, no compulsion, only calm support and respected decisions. Jungkook was not left alone in his choice. He is surrounded by people who understand that the pause is not the end, but part of the journey. The entertainment industry rarely makes room for silence. Everything should be fast, productive, and constantly moving. But Jungkook's decision challenges that pattern. He showed that stopping for a moment is not a failure, but another form of courage. This silent decision actually speaks louder than 1,000 words. As time went on, shock turned into reflection. Many began to ask not when Jungkook would return, but how he was now. This shift feels important. It's as if the world is learning, little by little, that the human beings behind the stage are much more valuable than the image they present. This decision is not a story about losing, but rather about keeping. Take care of yourself. Guard the future. Keep the love towards what has been built over the years. Jungkook didn't close the door. He just made sure that the next time he took another step, he did so with a fuller heart. In the end, time seemed to stop, but not to put an end to everything, but rather to give everyone, including Jungkook himself, a chance to breathe, understand, and remember one thing that is often forgotten. Even the brightest stars need space to rest. And it is in that silence that true power is slowly being rediscovered. The silence then spread to the spaces that have been filled with cheers. The studio is noticeably quieter. The schedule is no longer discussed in a hasty tone, and everyone seems to understand that there is something more important than just the continuation of activities. Jungkook didn't give a long explanation, but his attitude was enough to explain everything. She presents herself in a slower, more honest way, as if for the first time she's allowed the world to see her tired side without having to feel guilty. For many, this decision becomes a mirror. Not a few fans admit that they see themselves in Jungkook's steps, about the demands to always be strong, always productive, and always look good. Unwittingly, this story opens up a broader conversation about mental health, about the right to pause, and about the courage to say enough before things collapse. Jungkook did not preach, but his actions spoke clearly. Taehyung stays close to her, not as a guard, not as a guide, but as a friend who understands that presence doesn't always have to be accompanied by words. There are small moments they're captured, brief glances, light laughter, simple togetherness, that precisely show how much this decision leads them to a calmer and more mature form of relationship. No big promises of indulgence, just a tacit belief that no matter what happens, they don't go their own way. Day by day passed, and the world slowly learned to adjust to this new rhythm. There is no certainty of time, no countdown. There is only a process. And in the process, Jungkook looks more present to himself. Be more aware, more whole, as if the pause he took opened up space to return to remember the original reason he loved music, stage, and the long journey he had traveled. This silent decision will probably not always be understood by everyone. There will always be those who demand answers, who feel lost, who cannot wait. But behind it all lies an invaluable lesson, that true courage is sometimes not shown by moving on, but by daring to stop. And that taking care of yourself is not a form of egoism, but a foundation so that someone can give sincerely again. When time moves again, it does not move as before. It moves with a new consciousness, with growing empathy, with the understanding that behind the stage light, there are humans who have the right to choose their own rhythm. Jungkook may be taking a silent step, but the echoes of that step will continue to be felt, as a gentle reminder that even amid the glitter of the world, silence can be the most courageous decision ever taken. And it was there that the deepest meaning of the decision was finally seen. Not on what is stopped, but on what is guarded. Jungkook is not moving away from the world. He is returning to himself. In that calmer space, he gave his heart a chance to recover, his mind to clear, and his dreams to find a new, healthier formed army, who had always been at the forefront of cheers, now learned to stand in silence. Support without demanding, wait without forcing, a more mature, more sincere form of love. And when one day Jungkook steps back into the light, that step won't be born out of pressure, but rather out of choice, from the power that grows in silence.